Happy Friday, everybody. Are you ready for the weekend? Just a second. I am seeing if my Facebook Live is coming up. Okay. We're going to do a fun fold card today. I am Debbie Frank, and I stamp under the group name Frankly Stamping. Just a little play on my last name. And today we're going to make a fun fold card, and we're going to showcase the Stitch Stocking stamp set. And this was in the July online exclusives, I believe. And look at these cute dies. Look at this stocking. I keep both my stamp and my dies in the same envelope so that I can find them. Then we have the outline, and you'll see something clever I did. I made a card and tags. I'm going to show you both of those. And then this will cut out, and you can, the way these cut, you can take them out and like add another, one of the squares designs, or you can leave it as plain as you want. And I thought those were cute. And then we're going to use this tag. We used the trees over here, row of trees, and the holly and the berries. And then I also used this as a piece, a little bit of decoration. So let's set these aside for now. I'll grab the stamp set, set it aside. Since I've already cut everything, we don't need to do any cutting, except I am going to show you how to cut the actual card base, because it is, it's not difficult. It's just something different that, a little different than we normally see. So I'm going to show you that. And then I had to put my sweatshirt on because it was a little cool down here. And then I also decorated my envelope. I found this stamp set called Address to You, and it really didn't catch my eye until I got an envelope that had these stamp designs on it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And this is Sonia Schulte, her $1 million set for decorating your envelopes. So how cute is that? So ours, I used mine for a team swap, and it had the word team in there. I thought, well, that was kind of cool. So I used Team Christmas, and the Christmas trees, and then the little frame. And I thought that turned out really cute. So let's move on. We're going to use the designer paper that is in that suite, and it's got the cutest, whimsical, folky designs. And I'll pull these out and show them to you real quick. You can see I've been cutting pieces for my card, and I have a whole bunch back here. But I think I have a piece of everything. So this is side A, side B. I love this plaid, and I love this piece. I wish they would, it always ends up, the side A is on my side B that I like, and I don't want to cut either one. So, and then this quilted star pattern, and the holly and the leaves, which I used for part of my project. And then we have the candy canes on this side, and then we have this cute bird pattern, quilt pattern on the back. Here's the piece I like, and we already looked at that one. Okay, here's another one. These are all Christmas trees and the dots, and I used a lot of the dots in my swap card. And And I think we looked at this one already. No, we did not. Okay, so here's a quilt, the star, and this green. I'm trying out my new phone holder, so I hope it doesn't drop on my mat here. And I thought this piece would be really cool to use for a sampler, a background, or even just for Christmas decoration. How cool is that? And then side B is the snowflakes, which I used quite a bit of this. I'm on my second package of this, so that's why I had 2 full sheets of this, of the snowflakes, and yet I have this piece, so that was from the other pack. Okay, we'll set this aside. And I want to thank Cindy Pimley, my friend, for sharing this card with me. And she found it on Christy Falk's site, so I would like to give credit to both of them. Another cardstock or paper that we're going to use in this card is called Shimmering Stripes Specialty Designer Paper, and you can see there's glitter stripes, and they don't seem to rub off on your hands, so that's a good thing. Okay, so to get started, let me take my pieces out here. Set this aside. It has quite a few pieces, but once you get to, you know, going, it really goes fast. And I did already stamp a little greeting to stick on there. This is the stripes star that I'm going to use in the middle of my quilted star square. And you can see they have these little, these will pop up, and you can see this is cut right here. So you can take your scissors and trim that out and add a different design in those points, like a quilt. I did not cut mine out. I just popped mine up so you could see my base behind my square. Okay, and then I have, these are the pieces, all the pieces that I cut, and I'll give you the measurements here real quick. I did already do most of my die cutting because I did not want to do that in the middle of my thing. Okay, so here's all of our pieces we're going to need. And here is our card base. And you can see, oh my gosh, that's really a strange looking card base. I don't know what I got on there. But I'm going to show you how to cut one. I don't know what I sat that on, but it's got, looks like embossing powder. But I didn't have the embossing powder out, so I'm not really sure what that was. But keep one of these adhesive erasers. They used to have them at the Dollar Tree, and that's where I got mine. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut this first. Get these pieces out of my way. Okay, so first you need a piece that is 7.5 by, see if I'm on the camera here, 7.5 by 4.25, just like you're going to the regular, you know, width of our card, 4.25. But we're going to score this at 3.25. So this is 7.5. So on the 7.5 side, we're going to score this at 4.25 from each end. Okay. Now to cut. I'm going to turn my trimmer like this so that I can see. And I hope you can see. Okay, my trimmer's in the camera, so I think you should be able to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to You can take a pencil and mark these, but I found that more cumbersome than just using the measurements on my trimmer. I did add a sheet or a little strip of like 1/8 of an inch wide, 1/4 of an inch wide on my trimmer arm, and I just used glue dots and glue dotted it under here so that I can see this measurement, okay? So we're going to come in 3/4, and we're going to go down 1 5/8. And when we go down 1 5/8, we're going to drop our blade in so it sticks, and then we're going to cut up to this score line. We're going to do that on both ends, and this end and this end. So we're going to have 4 cuts going parallel to our width. Then we're going to put it back in our trimmer, and we're going to cut where that started, that 3/4 in and 1 5/8. We're going to cut from that line to that line, and that's going to leave you this flap. Okay. Okay, so I use both this side and this side when I'm doing the cutting because it seems to work very well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, and I hope I'm not in the camera here, or hope my head's not in the camera. Okay, 1 3/4. Okay, I'm going to drop it down on my score line. You can see my score line is right here. So I'm going to drop this down on my score line, and I'm going to go to 1 5/8, which is this. There's the big line, that's a half. So I'm going to go 2 over. That would be the 1/8. 1 5/8. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do it again. Same thing, 3/4 on this same side over here. Okay, I'm going to drop that down because I didn't move it. It's still at 1 5/8. And then I'm going to bring it up to my score line. Okay. Now I'm going to push it this way, and I'm going to use the 3/4 on this side of the trough, the cutting line there. Okay, so 3/4. And again, all the way up to the top here. This should still be in the same position because I didn't move it. So I'm going to go down to 1 5/8, which is right there. Now I'm going to flip it. Do the same thing again. 3/4. I found that when I was trying to, mark it with a pencil and then see the pencil marks, I couldn't see them beside my trimmer thing, this part. So I just decided to just put it in the trimmer and cut without doing the marks. And you can see that there are, like this is your center line, and you have lines here, and we're looking for this line right here is going to line up with our 3 1/4 that we scored to. Okay. Now we're going to take that back out, so you can see we have 4 slits we've cut in this. Okay. So now I'm going to put it in on this side. I'm going to put it in at 1 5/8. So the big line in the middle between the 1 and the 2 is a half. The next one is a 16th, and then the next one would be an 8th line. So I want 5/8. So every other line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5/8 is right here. And your next big line would be your quarter, so it would be 1 3/4. Okay, now this I do have to move because I have to line that up with this cut line, and then I'm going to go all the way over to 3/4, which is where that cut line is. Okay. So there's our first one. And so there's the first one. And I'm going to put this side in at 1 5/8. I mean, we're almost done. We're almost done with the cutting. I mean, with the, you know, base cutting. Okay, I'm going to just plop it down right where it's at and bring it all the way over to my little line. I'm going to line up with my cut line. I need my little scissors. I didn't quite go far enough here. And we're just going to trim that right there. So there's our flaps. Okay. I'm going to put my trimmer away. I don't need it. So I've already cut everything else for you. But I'm going to give you the measurements for the pieces as we go, okay? So our card base is at 7.5 by 4 1/4, okay? Now, we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to fold one, well, this goes in the hole, and then we're going to score one of these. Okay, open it back up, and then I'm going to score this one in the opposite direction. Okay, so here's our base, and it's going to fold like this. And you want the part that goes over the back like this, that means this is the front. Now, sometimes if you have papers that are not directional, it won't matter. You can use this for the front, or you can turn it around like this and use that for the front. Either one, it doesn't matter. But if you have directional paper, it will matter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to put my center basic white panel in, and it measures, you need 2 of these. Now, you do not have to layer everything with white. This one does, but I have another one to show you that doesn't, we don't cut any white. So I'm going to cut 2 of these at 4 1/8, 4 1/8 by 2 5/8. I always give my width first. That is a standard in construction, and it helps people always to know if they have a directional paper, they have to figure that in their measurements. Okay, so this is our first. Now, this is the front of my card, right? So this is going to go on the back. Your front focal point goes on the back. I know that's odd, but see, it's going to flip. So you want your focal point for the front on the back. So now let's flip this back over and I'll show you. See, this is my front. This is my front of my card. Folded. My focal point, you know, is up front. But when I open it, this is the back. So you do the reverse. To decorate, you put your focal point on the back. Took me a little bit. I think I did it wrong twice before I figured that out. Okay, now this is my back piece. This is where I took that narrow tree die and I just cut this strip out, and I saved the little trees to put on another card. I mean, to put on the side panels. Okay, so I'm going to glue this here. Now, if you wanted, you could take a piece of green, and I think I did this on one of the cards. I used that green holly paper and put just a little strip behind this, and my trees ended up being green. Let me see, was it this one? Nope. I think it was this one. So see, my trees ended up being green. Okay, so let's put this on. And I did not layer another piece on top of this. This is my back piece. And I probably should have stamped this first. It just dawned on me that I did not. But I probably still can. Okay. Now let's, no, I'll stamp it later. Okay. So then everything from here out, except for our, front panel, we're just layering pieces. These pieces are going to go on the sides like this. And these pieces measure, the white piece measures 1.5 by 2 5/8, and we cut 4 of those. Oh, I need more on red. And then our designer paper is cut at 1 3/8 by 2 1/2. So we have just a little border around the whole thing. The most time that this card is just gluing all the pieces together. That's what takes so long. But like I said, you don't have to do the white. But I just think with this, it really pops off the page with the white. And I have done, let's see, how many of these? I think 6 or 7 different designs. I took all my designer paper that I had that was current, and I decided to make those into this template. I was having some trouble with my Facebook Live. I don't know if there's a glitch or what. So again, I'm having to record and then upload this one. So we're just centering these on our side, on the sides. And then our top pieces and our bottom pieces are going to be 3. This white piece is 3 1/8 by 5/8. And this is 3 1/2. 3 and then 1/2. So you'll need 8 of these. Like I said, most of your time is spent, cutting these pieces and then gluing them on. But otherwise, the card really is not hard. It's just a little cumbersome, fiddly with all the little pieces. Okay, so this will go right here. And there's a score line right there, so you're just going to center this between that score line and this cut line. Okay? So we have, sorry, I do not have a way to fast forward this, so I'm just going to try to quickly glue these on. Of course, you will be able to fast forward on the video, so please feel free to fast forward if you don't want to watch me glue all these. I did make one this afternoon. I thought there was one designer paper that I had not used yet, and that, for anything, and that was the Sunset Coast. And I thought, wow, I wonder if I can get it to work for this template. So I played around with it, and I did get one made, and I even decided to make it, instead of horizontal, instead of landscape, I turned it into a portrait card. So I can't wait to show you that one. Now, I do have my blog post for this already finished. The only thing I have to do, I haven't published it yet, the only thing I have to do is I have to put my YouTube link into the blog post. Otherwise, it is all ready to go. And I will do that as soon as my video uploads and I have the link so that I can take the link over to my blog over at FranklyStamping.com. Please go over and there will be a download. You can download. It will not have the directions on the cutting. It'll only have measurements for the basic white and for the designer paper. But so I'm giving you the detailed instructions right now of how to cut it, how to cut your paper, how to cut your card base and fold it. So you'll have to come back to the video if you want to remember. I just thought it was complicated to try to write, you know, the 3/4 and the 1 5/8, and it just seemed really convoluted when I was trying to write it up in the directions. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to refer that part of the instructions to the video, because you will have seen the video to know to get the download anyway. So you've already seen me explain how you cut your card base. Okay, we're getting there. I'm hurrying. I've seen other people, they just seem very relaxed when they do their videos, but I always feel like I'm rushing. Got a little glue there, wipe that off. If you let your glue dry and then use your glue adhesive eraser, it'll just get that adhesive, extra adhesive right off of there. It's great. And another thing that I had added to a couple of my cards is the foiling greeting set. I had played with it last week and cut a bunch extra of the greetings. I loved the little ones, and I have used those on a lot of things. I used them last week. Oh, I got that glue where I didn't want to. I used it last week in my triple pop-up card. Please go check that one out. That one was a wow card. And those little slim little greetings, I think I used gold on all of those, gold foil. It just added, you know, a little bit of wow to the card. We only have 3 more of these to go. And I'm not sure. I know that a lot of the foil stuff is still in stock, actually. I looked yesterday, and the only one that was out was the big floral one, and I think maybe the greeting one, the big greeting one, not the little greeting one. I like the little one better. And I just took a little box that I had made, and I had measured wrong, so my top and bottom didn't fit together correctly. I think my top was way too big for the bottom, I think is the way it was. Anyway, I grabbed that little box and I thought, well, I'll just keep that to sit a bunch of my little greetings in that I make. And here are the gold ones. Are they not pretty? And then here's the big greetings. And those were the little greetings. And then I also like the triple banner punch, and I love the small greetings, like banner sayings, I think it's called. I use it a lot because it's just a little narrow greeting. The stamp set, all of them fit into one of the 3 punches on that punch. It punches 3 different banners. I have it sitting here. I'll show you. So you have the long one with your flagged ends, and then you have one that's with, you know, with the flagged end only on one side, and then here you have the opposite of the flag. I don't know what you call that, but it cuts. It's called the 3 banner. Please leave me a thumbs up and share my video. That tells YouTube that you like to see my content. And then it should, and if you'll subscribe, it's free, but it's one easy way for you to support my channel that I am trying to build. Okay, this is my, this is the back. I need the front. Need the front. See, when you unfold it, you get the back. So I'm going to flip this over so I can decorate the front. And I'm using this star quilt pattern. And any order from my store, online store, of $50 or more gets you rewards from Stampin' Up, and it also gives you a free card kit from me. You'll get this card with all the pieces to put it together. The only thing that you have to do is you have to provide your own stamps, because I cannot stamp for you. Okay, so here's our focal point. And like I said, I just pop these up so that I can kind of, you know, see that there's design underneath. And I'm going to put this in the middle. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue on each of these little flags. And I want to put this I think I'm going to put it, no, I think I will put it, I like the diagonal better. Okay, I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to center this, except I have it. I had it backwards. I thought that doesn't look right. Okay. Okay. And then I think I'm going to pop this up. Let me grab my dimensionals. I'm going to use the little ones. So I'm going to put one in this square, and this square, and this square, and one in the middle. Like I said, you can cut other pieces out of the paper and piece those pieces in if you want. But I had done so much cutting with this card, as many as I made, I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to do the piecing part. And I just got done with these because you can see I've got ink on my mat here. Okay, we're going to put this. I'm going to center that in that. Okay, now when we flip this, here's the front. Okay. Now we're going to go to the back because I have to stamp greeting on the back. And here's our stamp set. Let me grab my ink. I think we'll use, I really like this Merry and Bright because it's long and narrow. I need my red ink pad. which I somehow have lost my main one. But, okay, I like to use my grid paper, and I'm going to lay this down where it is on that line so that when I pick it up, the hardest part's getting it not to stick to your fingers. Okay. And then I'm going to line this up with one of the grid lines up here without sticking my head in the camera. Okay. Luckily I had a spare real red ink pad. I don't know where my other main one is. I used it for graduation cards because the colors were red and black. But, okay, let me pull this to me. I hope you can still see here. Oh, darn it. I was afraid that was going to happen because of the... Well, it's not great, but you get the point. Stamp first and then glue on later. So I will just fix that later by putting another strip of, I will restamp this and put that over the top of that. Okay, and then I'm going to add the holly leaves. And these would go here, but I'm not going to put them on here because I'm going to fix that greeting. But they will go right here or over here, either one. Probably over here because when you flip, you lose sometimes a little bit of this, and then my berries would go there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just because I messed that up. I should have cut a second, well, I should have stamped it before I put it on there. Okay, so on my front, I'm going to add this little red tree to the middle of this. Okay. And then the white trees that we saved from cutting that strip, we can glue those on the front here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 8, I believe it is, 8 or 9. And we need, say, 6. So we'll glue these on real quick. I'm going to space these out evenly. 1, 2, 3. Use our take your pick tool. 1, 2, and 3. Those are lined up. Okay, and then we'll put the remaining ones on this side. Lead them right side up. You can tell because the paper kind of curls under where the die. Well, darn it. Kind of trying to line that up with the one across from it. Okay, and then this one. Get on there. My fingers have glue. My finger has glue, and that's why it's stuck. Straight. Get up there straight. No leaning. Okay, and then our last one. Okay. And then we have our little greeting to put on, and it's going to slide right under here. I'm just going to add a little glue. Okay, and then I didn't add any jewels because I just thought there was enough, you know, going on. And so here is the front, and see, I need to add 6 more of the trees. I kind of forgot that I was putting those on the back, because the back is the front and the front is the back. Okay, so let's real quick put these on. I also think that they would be cute up here. This is a take your pick tool. If you don't have one of those, it's really handy. It has the putty on the end, which is, you know, good for picking up things. It's also good for scooping your, or scooting your embellishments off. Sometimes if you use the pokey end or something sharp, come on, get off of there. Fooling around, I've got my glue spread around because my card, I keep moving it with my hand. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll take the, oh my goodness, stay there. That one does not want to go. Okay. Can't wait to show you all the cards I made. Cindy showed my friend Kathy Schmidt and I how to make this really quickly the other night in Messenger of all things. And oh, I forgot. I have another. I had probably 7 cards made because I forgot the one that I made when she was showing us how to make it. I have it above my head here, so I'll have to grab it too. Oh, it's finally warming up down here. We're supposed to have heat advisories starting tomorrow for several days, like in the hundreds. But okay, so our main card is done. Here's the front and the back. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so that's my main card. Now, real quick, we're going to make a tag. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off real quick. I'm too warm. The tag, our swap was for, you had to make a card and you had to make a tag. That's always our Christmas in July swap. And so I made the stocking, and you can see I didn't cut these out. I just popped them up so you could get a glimpse of the red underneath, because my base was red. And then I did cut the bottom part of the stocking out so I could put the toe and the heel on in a different print. And then this is that sparkly glitter striped paper. It's so pretty. And then there are my holly berries and holly leaves. And then I added the to and from on the inside so it could be used on a package. And I did see where someone this morning, and see I cut this on the where my die was hanging over the side, so it did not cut that part, so it wasn't, you know, open. And then I did see where someone this morning did it where it opens like this. And then they used dimensional strips and went down around it and made it into like a little pocket, and they put money in it, and that was really cute. So I think I have one here to put together. Okay, let's move these out of the way. So there's my, you can see it, you can easily cut those off, but I did not want to do that. Okay, so, and could someone tell me why, we'll lay it flat so for gluing, why does a stocking almost always face to the left when it's just being displayed? Does anybody know? Because I thought, well, that's kind of weird, because you don't open a book, you know, from like when you know, a book is not laid this way and open, it's laid this way and open. So I didn't know if it was weird to open the, and this also, you can see where it's cut right there. Okay, this is the toe. I'm like, wait, that's too big. Yeah, that's the toe. Put my glasses back on here. It is heck getting old when you're close-up vision, when you have to wear reading glasses. I'm good on my other, I don't have to have the other kind of glasses, but I used to wear glasses. Okay, and now let's put this one, the heel on. And so you can see the lines. There's cut line, and then you have your stitching. And this stamp set actually has a little stamp to do stitching, which I thought was kind of cool. I did use that on something, I don't remember what now, but okay. And then our I popped this up, so let me grab dimensionals. So has anyone else been doing Christmas in July? Do you like to do Christmas in July? I like to do Christmas anytime. July, August, September, January, February, March, April. I wish I would had Christmas cards all year long. Now I'm going to attach this to the center of that square. And then we're going to add a tree to the middle, just like we did on the other one. Put a dot here. Okay, so there's the outside of our stocking. And then I have to put, grab holly leaf. I guess I only had one in here. And the berries. What did I do with the berries? I did run these through my die cutting machine and use the adhesive sheets on the back, so these already have adhesive on them. You can see I've got glue on my nail and it keeps sticking to everything. Okay, so let's add our holly leaves. And then we'll take your pick tool, the pokey one, if I can figure out where I put it. And we will scrape the adhesive cover off and stick our berries on. Okay, so that's the outside. And then we'll take our tag and stamp. We're going to use the same stamp set. This stamp pad, I think, needs to be re-inked. Still sticking to my fingers. Okay, and then we're just going to put this inside here. And you could use to and from. I did use to and from on the other one, but I'm going to use this greeting on the other. You know what? Would this work on here? Oh, it will. I'm going to do this. Okay, now let's see. Did I have another one of those cut? Nope, but I can use this one, I think. Let me see if the to from will fit on there. Yep. Okay, let's so that'll do. Lane swerve there. Okay, and then we're just going to put this inside of our stocking. I usually cut some extras when I cut tags like that, but I don't think I did cut an extra one of that one. So there's our stocking. And our other stocking. I didn't use the white on that one, but I liked that, so I did. And then here's our card. Love it. Okay, I will show you the alternatives. And here is the other one that I made. And this one I just put a jewel instead of the tree. And see, there's what it looks like with the holly berries on it, which I should add to that other one. Here's another Christmas in July one. And you can see I used the Cheers to You. This is with the foil greeting set. I love how that little bit of gold just really adds a little bit of bling to the card. And I used the striped, glittering stripes, shimmering stripes, specialty paper behind my square on this one. And then there's the back, and see, I used the green. Instead of, I made my white layer smaller and added the DSP instead in the larger size so that it would stick through my trees there. Okay, and then we're going to switch gears. We're not doing Christmas. This is with the framed violets. This was the first one I made. This is the one that I did with my friend Cindy. Friend, happy birthday. Celebrate, and see, these are the bigger greetings. These are little punch outs that they have in the framed violets designer series paper. And then this one is the Velvet Meadow. This is just stunning paper. And then I added a little bit of ribbon behind my greeting just to give it a little, you know, separate it from the designer paper there. And these are the blooms that go with that set. And they're a little big, but they have them in, I think it's white, yellow, and the pink. And they're just a little big, so I used the smallest white one on this one. And then this, I just wanted to use the panel of the flowers because I just thought they were so pretty. I think this is one of my favorites. And then here we have Fern and Flora. You're an amazing friend. You make the world a better place. And I really like this one too. And see, if you turn the card over, I mean, it looks, you know, it still has all the same panels. It's just the middle one that is flipped. Okay, and then this is the Lily of the Valley set, Hello Sunshine. I used a different stamp set because I didn't have any really that worked with this, so. And then I used Happy Birthday. And then I made one with the Relaxing Retreat or Relaxing Waterside. I never can remember the name. This is the one that coordinated with the April Paper Pumpkin set. And if you want to see all the alternatives I made with this set, go check out that YouTube video. It is well over 1,100 views now. And I would love it if you would tell me which card's your favorite. So these are the little rocks that were in that paper pumpkin kit. So I used that and pulled out some of these. I have my stamp set lost somewhere. And I've looked everywhere and can't find it. So I just pulled, this is the diner paper that goes with that stamp set. It's got a Adirondack chair in it. And I used it on one of my April Paper Pumpkin cards. And then the back is just the sign that was in the paper pumpkin kit. And this little tag was also in there, since I can't find my set. But I thought that turned out really cute. And then, I don't know if it's the best, but the last is Here's to a Lifetime of Happiness. And watch this one. This one is vertical. And you get the same scene on both sides. I thought that turned out pretty. I did have to use a couple sheets of designer paper, though, to be able to get it to line up correctly. So what do you think? I would love to know which one is your favorite. There's our coastal Sunset Coast, and here's our Relaxing Retreat, and here's our Lily of the Valley, and here's our Fern and Flora, and our Velvet Meadow, and our Framed Violets. And then we had two Christmas in July cards, and 2 little tags. So which one do you like? What's your favorite? Be sure to check out my blog and get the downloadable measurements, and it also has all of these pictures on the download, so you'll have those to look at. I did on a few of them, I don't think I did on the last one, but on most of them, and I forgot to post this one on there, but all the rest are on there. I showed them like this, and like this, and this, so that you could see, you know, how the front and the back, lay. So be sure to check out my friend Kathy Schmidt at the Backyard Stamper, and my friend Marissa Alvarez, Kitchen Table Stamper. They both have YouTube channels and have great content. So please be sure to check them out, and please leave me a thumbs up, a comment, and tell me which one you like. And be sure to go over to my blog post and download the free measurements, and leave a comment over there too if you don't mind. Well, I hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.